What if the only way to make her regret losing you is to stop caring if she does? Most men get it all wrong. They think chasing, pleading, and proving their worth will bring her back, but that only confirms what she already believes, that she's the prize and holds the power. But the moment you stop, truly stop, everything shifts. She expects you to beg, she expects you to break, but when you vanish like she never mattered, it unsettles her, it plants doubt. And doubt? Doubt is the seed that grows into regret. This isn't about playing games, this is about mastering yourself. In this video, I'll show you how to detach, rebuild, and make her feel your absence like a ghost she can't shake. If you're ready to stop suffering and reclaim your power, hit that like button, subscribe, and comment below. I control my emotions. They do not control me. Now, let's begin. Number 1. The power of absence. Absence is one of the most powerful tools in shifting the dynamics of a relationship, especially after a breakup. Human nature dictates that we often take what is readily available for granted, only realizing its value once it is gone. This principle also applies to relationships. When you are constantly present, texting, calling, or engaging on social media, you become predictable and, ultimately, less intriguing. However, completely cutting off contact introduces scarcity, making your absence felt profound. The mind naturally fills gaps with curiosity and doubt, leading her to wonder if she made the right decision. Over time, her certainty about leaving you begins to waver, and she starts questioning her own choices. This is why the silent withdrawal is not just an act of detachment, but a strategic move that forces her to experience the void you once filled. Luxury brands like Rolex don't need to beg for attention. Their scarcity and exclusivity make them desirable. Similarly, you trigger a psychological reaction when you become unavailable. People desire what they cannot have. By removing yourself from her world, you shift the balance of power, compelling her to feel your absence instead of your presence. However, the key is discipline. Breaking the silence out of impatience or emotional weakness resets everything, placing you back in a position of neediness. True power lies in doing nothing, allowing her to chase the void you left behind, rather than trying to remind her of your worth through desperate attempts at contact. Number 2. Indifference is the ultimate power move. Indifference is the most unsettling response you can give to someone who expects an emotional reaction. When a woman ends a relationship, she often anticipates anger, sadness, or desperate attempts to win her back. Any of these emotions reaffirm that she still holds power over you. However, when you respond with absolute indifference, you disrupt her expectations, leaving her uncertain and even questioning her decision. Emotional detachment is a fundamental principle of Stoicism. It teaches that control over one's emotions is the key to true strength. By refusing to react, you remove her leverage over you, showing that you are no longer emotionally invested. This forces her to wonder, why doesn't he care? Did he move on? Was I wrong? Over time, this doubt builds into regret. She might test you, liking a post, sending a casual message, or even trying to provoke a reaction. But the true power move is to remain unmoved. When you engage, you reveal that you were simply pretending to be indifferent, not truly embodying it. The more detached you are, the more she feels it. She starts to question her own importance in your life, and ironically, this is when she may feel the urge to chase your validation once again. Indifference isn't just an act. It's a mindset that signals your happiness and sense of self-worth, and it does not depend on her presence or approval. The ability to walk away without looking back ultimately shifts the power in your favor. Number 3. You were never chasing her, you were chasing validation. Most men believe they are heartbroken because they lost the woman they loved, but in reality, what they truly lost is the validation she provided. The chase was never about her. It was about the feeling of being chosen and worthy in her eyes. This illusion keeps men trapped in a cycle of seeking approval, mistaking external validation for self-worth. The problem is that when your sense of value depends on someone else's recognition, you surrender control over your happiness. This is why rejection or abandonment feels so devastating. It's not just about losing her, but about losing the source of validation you relied on. The only way to break free is to stop seeking external approval altogether. Instead of focusing on winning her back, redirect that energy into becoming someone who doesn't need validation from anyone. True confidence isn't about proving your worth to others. It's about knowing your worth, regardless of who acknowledges it. The moment you detach from the need for external validation, you reclaim your power. Ironically, this shift in mindset makes you more attractive because you no longer carry the aura of desperation that repels people. Women are drawn to men who stand firm in their values and do not seek to be chosen, but live in a way that naturally commands respect. When you stop chasing validation, you stop chasing her, and that is when you become truly untouchable. Number 4, the Stoic mindset. Detach or be destroyed. Stoicism teaches that the only thing you truly control is your thoughts, actions, and reactions. Everything else, including how someone treats you or whether they stay in your life, is beyond your control. When you allow your emotions to be dictated by someone else's choices, you give them power over you. This is why detachment is not just a philosophy, but a necessity. If you do not master your emotions, they will master you, keeping you in a cycle of pain, longing, and weakness. Heartbreak is only devastating if you allow it to be. The more you check her social media, dwell on the past, or analyze every small action she takes, the more you remain trapped. True Stoic discipline means severing emotional ties, not in anger, but indifference. You must train yourself to see her choices as irrelevant to your growth. The moment you stop reacting is the moment you regain control. Ironically, this is when she will start feeling your absence the most. When you no longer seek her approval, she loses the power to affect your state of mind. Detachment frees you from suffering, and in doing so, you elevate yourself beyond the reach of emotional turmoil. She becomes a memory, not a source of pain. In the end, you either learn to detach or let the past destroy you. The choice is yours. Number 5. The reverse chase. Make her feel your absence. The natural expectation after a breakup is that the man will chase, attempt to fix things, or seek closure. But what happens when you do the opposite? When you disappear without a word, without a trace? It unsettles her. She expects you to reach out, check in, and react somehow. But when weeks go by and there's nothing, no texts, no calls, no social media activity, her initial confidence in leaving you starts to weaken. Curiosity turns into doubt. Why hasn't he reached out? Did I make a mistake? The mind hates unanswered questions, and in your absence, she begins to fill the silence with her own thoughts. At first, she may test the waters with small breadcrumbs, a like on an old post, a casual message, or a comment designed to get your attention. But the true power move is to do nothing. No reaction, no validation. The more you ignore her, the more she feels it. This flips the dynamic, making her the one who starts to chase. The reverse chase works because it forces her to experience the void you left behind. And in that void, she begins to feel the impact of her decision, not through your words or efforts, but through the absence of your presence. Let silence do the work for you. Number 6. How to kill her curiosity, the silent mystery. People fear uncertainty more than they fear rejection. When you disappear completely, no social media updates, no mutual friend interactions, no signs of life, you create an unbearable mystery. She expected you to show signs of struggle, to prove that you're still thinking about her. But when there is nothing, her mind begins to work against her. Is he over me? Has he moved on? Is he seeing someone else? The unknown is far more powerful than any deliberate attempt to make her jealous. If you post about how great you're doing, it's obvious. You're trying to prove something, but when you say and show nothing, she has no idea what's happening in your world. This lack of information forces her to fill in the gaps, often assuming the worst, that you have truly moved on, that she has lost her influence over you. This is what makes silence so powerful. It leaves her with no closure, no reassurance, no control. The mistake most men make is trying to send indirect messages through posts or mutual connections. But the strongest message you can send is complete detachment. True power lies in giving her nothing to work with, no clues, hints, or validation. Let her mind torment her with the possibilities. A silent mystery is far more haunting than any words ever could be. Number 7. Emotional mastery. Never let them see you sweat. Emotions are the easiest way for someone to gauge how much control they have over you. The moment you react, whether with anger, sadness, or desperation, you confirm that you are still emotionally invested. This is why women test men after a breakup. She may post something to provoke a reaction, send a casual message to see if you'll engage, or even bring up another man to trigger jealousy. But the man who has mastered himself does not fall for these traps. He remains unmoved, unshaken. This isn't about pretending not to care. It's about truly internalizing the mindset that nothing she does can affect your emotional state. A Stoic does not seek validation, nor does he allow external circumstances to dictate his peace. When you refuse to react, you become unpredictable. She doesn't know where she stands with you anymore, and that uncertainty makes her uncomfortable. The more she tries to get a response and fails, the more power shifts in your favor. Emotional mastery is about control over yourself, which inevitably leads to control over the situation. The man who stays composed, who never lets them see him sweat, is the man who ultimately commands the most respect. Number 8. The cold shoulder. How to handle seeing her again. At some point you may run into her, whether by chance, through mutual friends, or because she reaches out. This moment is crucial, as it will confirm whether you have truly detached or if she still has a hold over you. Most men make one of two mistakes. Either they overcompensate by acting too happy and trying to prove they've moved on, or they show bitterness, revealing that they still care. The true power move is emotional neutrality. If she speaks to you, keep your responses short and casual, no extra effort, no unnecessary enthusiasm. A simple, "I'm good," is enough. If she tries to engage further, remain polite but distant. Your lack of emotional reaction forces her to confront the reality that she no longer holds significance in your life. This can be unsettling for her, as it contradicts the control she once had. The goal is not to be rude or arrogant, but to demonstrate through your demeanor that she is no longer a priority. Indifference is far more powerful than hostility, because it shows true detachment. When she realizes she no longer affects you, she will question everything, and that is when the power dynamic truly shifts. Number 9. The rebirth. Becoming a man she can't reach anymore. The ultimate goal is not to win her back, not to make her regret, and not even to shift the power dynamic. It is to evolve into a version of yourself that no longer even considers her relevant. Too many men fall into the trap of self-improvement with the hidden agenda of making their exes notice them, but true transformation happens when you grow beyond the past, to the point where she is just another name in a long-forgotten chapter of your life. This is the essence of rebirth. Becoming a man she can't reach, not because you are avoiding her, but because you have elevated yourself to a level she no longer fits. This means sharpening your mind, strengthening your body, and building a life of purpose. It means becoming financially, emotionally, and mentally untouchable. The irony? This is the moment she is most likely to return. When she sees that you are no longer the man who once craved her validation, that you have become something greater than she ever imagined, she will feel the weight of what she lost. But by then it won't matter, because you have already moved beyond her. She was never the goal. The goal was always your own evolution. And now, you have become the prize she can never reclaim. Number 10. The final lesson. You never needed her anyway. At the core of all this, beyond the silence, beyond the detachment, beyond the power shifts, is a simple truth. You were always enough. The pain you felt after the breakup wasn't because you lost her. It was because you believed, even for a moment, that you needed her to feel whole. But the truth is, you never did. She was never the source of your value, purpose, or happiness. She was merely a chapter in your story, not the entire book. The final lesson is realizing that everything you thought you needed from her, validation, affection, approval, was something you could have always given yourself. And once you understand this, you become truly free. You no longer seek closure because you have already moved forward. You no longer wait for her return because it no longer matters. You don't play power games or manipulate emotions because true strength doesn't require deception. You've built yourself into a man who stands on his own, untouchable, indifferent, and complete. If she ever comes back, it won't be to the same man she left. It will be to a version of you that no longer sees her as essential. And that is when you will know you never needed her anyway. Now you see the truth. Power lies in detachment. The strongest man isn't the one who begs for love. It's the one who walks away without looking back. She thought she had control. She thought she could come back any time. But now she questions everything, and that's the key. When you stop caring, she starts feeling it. This isn't about revenge. This is about transformation. About becoming so composed, so unbothered, that she has to wonder if she ever mattered to you at all. So, if you're done letting emotions control you, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I am untouchable. I'll see you in the next one.